Guys, no theme song. Sorry, like usual. Actually, because well, I'm still using my phone. Still using my phone because the fortunately I actually just got a new computer. See, so yeah, I was having I know I probably told you in a million different live streams that I've been having problems with my computer, but I got a new one to work. So next week I should be back to the normal format of Sirdork Live. I know it's a little bit different. Maybe you can't even notice, but yeah. Welcome to Sirdork Live. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a Q&A. A Q&A thing. Hey, I think I need to switch the orientation. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Sideways stream. Why is this? Sorry, guys. I don't know what the... I thought I had everything perfectly good here. That's really frustrating. Alright, well, it's gonna be, we're going long ways today. Because, yeah, we're going vertical today because of my phone. Sorry, guys. We're going long ways today. And the lighting's, what is up with the lighting? But anyway, we're going long ways today. So if you're watching on your TV, sorry, it's going to be long. But if you're watching on your phone, perfect. So before I get into the questions, I actually have a bunch of really amazing questions all laid out here from some of you guys asked on Instagram. And so I'm going to go through all those questions. And then I'm going to just go through the live chat and just go through that way. It's going to be fantastic. So before I do that, I have two things I want to mention. So first of all, actually this weekend, I'm going to be at a local convention. I have a little table at Saratoga Comic-Con. So if anybody has a, if anybody's somewhat local or in the New York area, come to Saratoga Comic-Con. Come say hey to me, and it'll be fantastic. And I get to meet somebody. And I'll have prints and shirts for sale. It's going to be a ton of fun. So if you're in the local New York area, please definitely stop by. That would be the coolest thing ever. Man, I'm so distracted by the lighting right now. Everything looked totally fine until I started, and it's so off. I'm sorry, guys. And since I've started on here, there's nothing I can do. So yeah, geez, I'm sorry. But anyway, Fievel is here. Says, Jared, thanks for all the tips that you've been sharing. Fievel, Perez, thanks for being in the stream, my friend. And, you're welcome. Thanks for supporting and being awesome. Siva's here. Shinobi Toys is here. Ronin Photography is here. Fievel Perez. I wonder if I do this, I can adjust. Will it adjust? Hang on. I'm going to fix something. Is that any better? No, it's not. I'm really sorry about the lighting. It's really, really distracting me right now. Okay, so the other thing is, if you watched the most recent Toy Photography Immersion video, which was freaking awesome, what we did was, we met in Lake Placid, New York, had a weekend-long event, which was it was fantastic. Weekend-long workshop. We had a bunch of really great people there. It was just a very, very special weekend. And I talked about at the very end of that video that the next Toy Photography Immersion is going to be in the UK, which is so cool. And I'm super happy that we're able to do it in the UK because so besides the US, the most common place I've seen, or the most common location I've seen other toy photographers be from is the UK and just, I guess, that surrounding area. And I know a lot of toy photographers that are from the UK. So if you hadn't seen that, I guess, little announcement, yeah, that's absolutely happening. And that's really exciting. So, The chat, Steve says the chat has spoken. Place a shirt on your light. What I probably need to do is just move it back again, but it doesn't look as bad as it once did. But yeah, in the UK, and so that whole program is live on the Learning Journeys website. Just go to learningjourneys.com to get to that, and I have it linked, in my bio on Instagram. It's on my website as well. So Sirdork.com. And I'll link it in this video too if anyone's watching this later on. But for that trip specifically, Learning Journeys is having like a Black Friday deal, and so you can get actually like 22% off of that specific program. If this is something that you're looking into doing, you can actually get. LV says I'm in the UK. Heck yeah! So LV and anyone else watching from the UK, that specific program is going to be on sale for Black Friday from the 28th to the 29th. And it's 22% off. 22 is kind of a random number, but that's okay. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And that's pretty much all I really had to share before I got into the questions. So, yeah. And I'm going to get started on the first question. I'm actually going to go in order from Instagram. So actually, I probably will update. If you still want to add some questions in, I'm going to go through questions on Instagram. If you go onto my Instagram story, you can answer or ask a question on there, and that's what I'm going to be using. And yeah, and then once I finish those out, I'll just go right into the live chat and just start talking to you guys. So yeah. So number one, this is from Danny R27, Danny_R27. Thanks, Danny. I actually really like this question. I've read a couple of these, and they're all fantastic. Like, really, really questions I can't wait to talk about and to answer. What advice can you give to people who are afraid to shoot in public? This is such a great subject, because I'm primarily a outdoor toy photographer. And shooting in public when there's people around is tough. It's tough to get over that kind of just being around people, because toy photography is weird, whatever. And anyone who's done it knows how weird it is. People give me weird looks. I haven't, but I would say 95% of the experiences I've had, which has been quite a few, they've all been really positive experiences. People naturally are just kind of curious, and they look at you and they're like, what the hell is he doing? Is that like an action figure? Like, what? And naturally people will be just very curious and kind of just look, and some people will come up and ask, like, what you doing? What you doing over here? So they're just curious, and like you're pretty much, they're giving you an opportunity to introduce them to what toy photography is. You can say, yeah, I'm a toy photographer, and this is what I'm doing. I'm taking photos of toys. What I always have business cards on me, because I have my own Sirdork business cards, and I always have them on me in my wallet. I always have my wallet on me, and anytime I'm a toy photographer, I'm taking photos of this toy. If you're interested in my work, here's my my business card. Yeah, on Instagram, blah blah blah. Solutionist, how's it going? Thanks for being here. And so I'll give them my business card, and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And sometimes they'll watch, or sometimes they'll go away. Or even sometimes, if they're really curious, I will, I'll show my Instagram right off the bat, Siva says, I can't imagine anyone looking at someone, especially a kid, taking a picture and going out of their way to judge them. Never judge people for their hobbies and doing what they love. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, some people probably will. Some people will be jerks. But I would say like 95% of people, in my experience, are just genuinely interested and excited to see what the heck you're doing. So, yeah, just embrace it and be proud of what you're doing. Be proud of what you're doing out in public. And make business cards, hand them out when someone's doing it, and just be excited to introduce a new person to toy photography. So, yeah. I'm gonna try and fix this light again. This is just really bad. What if I just turn it off? Oh, this is so much better. Okay, we're going with this. So, and actually one of the things I really wanted to do was create a toy photography in public video and just like take a bunch of shots in a very, very public area and just kind of film some reactions. I feel like that would be really cool. I'm gonna have to do that someday. So yeah, Brody Ravel says, my neighbors are like, why is that guy playing with an action figure? Yeah, actually recently I was at one of my favorite spots that I always take pictures, and this guy came up to me, was super, super curious, and I told him I'm a toy photographer, I'm taking photos of toys, blah, blah, blah. And I actually was shooting some stuff for Disney at the moment, because I've been working on this big project with Disney, and I was doing that. And so I kind of could say, yeah, I'm a toy photographer, I'm shooting these toys for Disney, and that alone was like, whoa. And he wanted to take a picture with me, so he took a photo with me, we took a picture, and then he put it on his Instagram, and I shared it, and it was just like, it was just a cool interaction. So yeah, sorry about the lag, you guys. I'm not even really using internet anywhere else, but my internet sucks. So yeah, let's see here. Hey Bill, you're out with the camera and lights and a lot of other equipment. It's not like you're a grown adult playing with toys on the sidewalk. I think they'll genuinely be interested. That's true. That's very, very true. Okay, so I guess it's saying, Roy's saying no lag. Okay, that's great. That's great. Fox is here. Hey, Fox. Tanner's here. How's it going, you guys? Thanks for watching. This is fantastic. Okay, so the next one being, this is from Miniature Toy Photography. And said, do you plan on doing any customs, like a custom clone Legion? I'm always planning on doing customs. Well, I mean, I guess I'm not always planning on it, but I'm always in some caliber looking forward to doing some kind of custom or whatever. But yeah, absolutely, it's so much fun. Actually, the last live stream, Miniature Toy Photography, was Mr. Tang's World. How's it going, sir? Thanks for being here. Yeah, the last live stream was we made a custom. And Val is here. Val says, yeah, it was Santa Doomsday. Yeah, I took a Devastator figure from Macfarlane Toys, and we turned it into Doomsday. It was awesome. It was so much fun. And yeah, customization is so much fun. And what's also really great is that, like, I'm not a super, like, skilled artistic custom maker. I'm really not. But it's fun to mess around with it, and the more you mess around, the better you get. And I was actually really proud of that Doomsday. I think it came out pretty good. Brody says I should make a Captain Sirdork, like a stormtrooper. Maybe I should. Well, the Sirdork trooper is the patrol trooper. That's like my guy. I love that guy, even though he has two seconds of screen time. But thanks for the question, Miniature Toy Photography. This one's from Damon Wade. Thanks, Damon. Let's see. Wait. Okay, Satchel, you got me. Satchel said they just announced the Doomsday figure yesterday. LOL, JK. Okay. So Damon says, what action figures do you think are very underrated that you love? Underrated figure. So, I guess it's underrated, so I guess many people might not really relate. I don't know. But I'm really, really liking, because I'm a big Pokemon fan, the Pokemon Scale World line. I don't see a lot of people using it. It's Pokemon Scale World. It's a Japanese line from I'm pretty sure it's from Bandai. And it's just, they're basically all statues. They're not articulated, but they make probably some of the most beautifully sculpted looking Pokemon figures of a lot of Pokemon you don't really see too often. Like, the only way to get a nice Feraligatr figure, which is my favorite Pokemon, is in the Pokemon Scale World line. And I love that. And I don't really see a lot of people using those figures. Some people do, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. So that would probably be my most underrated thing. Yeah. So thanks, Damon Wade, for sending that in. So we got Jack14 Photography says, how do you keep your motivation to keep taking photos? Well, I mean, I think the first thing with being motivated to take photos, and this is true with anything, if it's something you really want to do, I think you'll always be motivated. Because I genuinely I just love taking toy photos. I just love it. So I always want to do it. I always want to do it. And just remember just remember the reasons why you love what it is you're doing. So I genuinely just enjoy the process of setting up, taking a picture, and doing it. And just, it's so much fun. I genuinely enjoy that. So I always am feeling motivated. And what else is really great about what the things you love? So like I love taking the pictures and I love posting them online and getting like a response from you guys and getting a reaction. I absolutely that makes me so happy when I'm sometimes I'll take a photo and I don't even really like it that much, but I do still a little bit, so I'll post it and I'll get this crazy, super just nice reaction from you guys, and it makes me love the photo even more. So that's another great reason why I'm always motivated to do it, because you guys are here, and that makes me so happy, you know. And just like this right now, I love doing. I like these live streams are sometimes like, I try to make them as awesome as possible, and sometimes I over build up too much work and trying to do all these crazy things, and it gets really difficult or stressful sometimes. But then I remember why I do it, because I love it. I love talking with you guys, and then that motivation always stays there, because no matter how stressful it is, you know. CJ, hey man, says thanks for all the inspiration. I've seen a video you did. Then it's been a passion, and it's really enjoyable, and you seem like a cool person. CJ, I appreciate that, dude. So I hope you continue to stay passionate and inspired. Thanks so much, dude. And Siva, so you said, Jared, I missed it. When did you say you were doing the Comic-Con? It's actually this weekend. It's on Saturday. It's in that's in Saratoga, so a lot closer to me than it is to you. But hey, I mean, if you don't have any plans, Siva, come on down, and you need some place to stay. Come on over. Come on over. Just let me know. But yeah, Saratoga Comic-Con. I'll be at Saratoga Comic-Con this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And if you need more information about Saratoga Comic-Con, just go to SaratogaComicCon.com. I'll be upstairs, by the way, upstairs. So Jack14 Photography, thanks for sending that question about the motivation. Whoa, Tally JC sends a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. It says sending support from Colin and Evan. Colin and Evan, thank you guys so much. You guys are fantastic. Colin, I miss you, buddy. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Evan, I only talked to you for like a brief second, but you're an awesome dude too. Thank you so much, you guys. That's incredibly generous. Thank you so much. So the next question comes from Noah Burles 04. It says, how long did it take you to get this good? Well, first of all, I appreciate the fact that you think I'm good at this kind of thing. Appreciate it, and I'm doing my best, so thanks. Okay, I would say, I will phrase it like this. It has taken me quite a long time to get to the place I am now, as far as my confidence and I think what my skill level might be with toy photography. Siva says 29 years, LOL. Yes, it is basically 29 years. But if I actually had a whole live stream about where we started with toy photography and where we are now. It's called Toy Photography Then and Now. And it was the whole time just showing like where we started and how, like, with my photos, if I look at the old ones, it looks like total crap. And then like a photo now, it looks so much better. And so I've been doing it for since 2014, so 6 years, I guess, right? Yeah, 7 years. It's almost 2022, so 8 years almost. Holy crap, I'm coming up to 10. But yeah, it's been 8 years, so I didn't start out very good. And it just, as long as I stayed motivated, I enjoyed what I was doing, and I wanted to keep doing. The more I shot, the better I got. So just, all you gotta do is practice. Practice makes perfect. And that's the same case if you look at anybody that you think is really good at toy photography. Like I'll look at like Plastic Actions photos. Obviously, in my mind, he's just like, holy crap. It's just like the best, really. And then he's posted some old photos of his, and I'm like, wow, okay, so if he started out like that, geez, his old ones were not so hot, just like mine. And now they're amazing. So yeah, I just got to keep doing it. Jervis says, hey Jervis, thanks for watching, dude. And Ronan Photography sent a super chat. Thanks so much, Ronan. Seriously, dude. It says, hey man, I just made a typo on a second question. Well, I'll get to it. I'm gonna have to refresh, but I'm definitely going to get there. And don't worry about the typo, man. Who cares? I'd make typos all the time. So the next question comes from Star Wars Toy Photography 51, I think it is. I think it's him. It's blocking out the whole name, but it says, how'd you get into Star Wars? And I thought about that. How did I get into Star Wars? And it's actually kind of hard. It's kind of something that's always been there. Like, it's just kind of like, I grew up, I have 2 older brothers, and we all kind of just, like, grew up loving Star Wars. And so, like, it's hard to think, like, I don't know, we all grew up loving Star Wars, but neither of my parents are big Star Wars fans, really. So, it's not from them. But I'm pretty sure our neighbors, we grew up with these 2 kids named Adam and Chris. And they really loved Star Wars. And I think they were probably the ones to introduce it to us. Pretty sure. And then, ever since then, downhill from there. Loved Star Wars. And I saw The Phantom Menace when I was 7. So, I was 7 years old loving these 3 movies that are awesome. And then like, oh crap, wait, there's a new one coming out. Awesome. And then that was it. So next one's from MEM Toys. How's it going, MEM? Are you interested in a travel to South America? So, am I interested in going to? Of course, that sounds awesome. South America, is, from what I've seen, is an absolutely beautiful place. Hell yeah, I would love to go there one day. Definitely. MEM. I didn't even know you were from South America, so that's really cool. I'm assuming that's where you're from. That's why you asked. But sorry guys, I feel like I'm totally falling behind with the with the live chat. For any questions, I'm going to go through all the ones that you guys asked on Instagram, and then I'm going to go through and answer all the questions on the live chat as best I can. So, heck yeah. So next we got Aussie Action Figs, which is Bruce, my man Bruce. Thank you, Bruce, for being awesome. So it says, do you find it hard to stay motivated and creative? Hope I can be there for the stream. Bruce is all the way in Aussie Action Figs. He's an Aussie, so he's down in the world down under. So I don't know, it's probably early in the morning over there. But like I was talking about before, Bruce, just gotta love what you're doing, and as long as you just genuinely enjoy what you're doing, and you remember why you genuinely enjoy what you're doing, you will always stay motivated. You know what I mean? You will always stay motivated, and you just worry about what you love and why you love it, and do it for those reasons. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. And then and sometimes a hobby like toy photography can turn into more than that, and then it becomes almost like stressful because you're trying to do all these things, and then you just sometimes gotta ground yourself and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go and shoot something easy. I don't care how many likes it might get. I'm just gonna do something I think is fun, and then there you go. There you go. So, thanks, Bruce, for sending that in, my man. And the Empire Strikes says, when is the next editing stream? That's a great question. First of all, Empire Strikes, you were awesome, dude. Let's see. I'm just glad to hear that you enjoy the editing streams, first of all, because I've done 3 of them so far. The first one I felt like did really well, and then like they kind of slowly got like less and less kind of engagement on the video. So I didn't think that they were super, there was much of a demand for them, but I guess there is. I'm gonna have to do another editing stream again. I have a new computer that's a little bit more powerful than the last one. My plan is to get a nice desktop computer, and that's powerful enough for me to stream and have Photoshop going at the same time, because it's a lot for a computer to handle. So when I think that's probably when I'll do another one, when I have a more powerful thing, because yeah, streaming and Photoshop, they take a lot of power for the computers to do their thing. But yeah, I think I'll do that again around that time. So let's see. I still want to somewhat keep up with you guys in the live chat. Gregu is here. Gregu Snap says, "G'day, buddy. G'day, mate. How's it going?" Thanks for joining the stream. He's also an Aussie. I have collectibles. Hey man. Thanks for joining the chat. I'm sure it's so hard for me not to answer you guys' questions that you put in the chat. I'm gonna go through everything in the what's on Instagram first, and then I'm gonna be going all the questions in the live chat. Jay-Z Jordan, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining. You guys are awesome. Okay, so next one is from Joe CGI Toys. How do you make effective special effects in toy photography? What material is needed? Well, I mean, there's all kinds of special. I mean, I try to do things practical, because the reason why I do things, I'm like looking at Gregu in the chat. Americans doing it in Aussie accent. No, it's not terrible, right? I've done better. I know it's probably not that great, but the reason why I try to do things practical most of the time is because my not practical skill of creating effects in Photoshop and everything else is not super strong. So I just go with what I can do, and practicality is the best for me. So as far as fireworks, if you want to do practical effects with fireworks, you have to get fireworks, and that's difficult to find sometimes. You gotta Google to see if there's any local fireworks shops near you. And I have a whole tutorial on that, by the way, for fireworks. And let's see, so if you want to do special effects with dirt and debris and stuff like that, I do have a tutorial on that as well. You actually don't really need much at all. You just need to use your hand and a bunch of dirt for that kind of thing. If you want to use special effects with water, it's the same thing. You can do special effects with water. All you do is just splash and take some photos and have a fast shutter speed, because when you're taking pictures of moving particles, a fast shutter speed is the best way to do that. Space Ace X put a super chat. Thanks so much, dude. He said, "Hi, Jared. Thanks for doing all that you do for the toy photography community. We appreciate you." Dude, I thank you. Thank you so much. I do it because I love it, and the fact that you guys appreciate it is I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. And for most special effects stuff, Joe CGI, I have a tutorial for just about everything. So just go into the tutorials playlist or the basics playlist, and there should be more. And I do plan on doing a few more tutorials as well. And now that I have a computer, I can go back to creating better tutorials again. And I know I haven't actually put out any actual videos recently. There've been a lot of live streams, but now that I have a working computer again, I can actually start working on the next tutorial. So yeah. All right, so next one's from Ransom Griggs. If you had to take photos of one character for your entire life, who would it be? That's a really good one. So like when I think of my favorite character of all time, it's definitely Superman. But at the same time, I don't shoot Superman as often, because when I think about my style of toy photography and what I do best, characters like stormtroopers really fit with what I like to do with, practical explosions and stuff like that. I mean, that worked with Superman too, but it's different. A stormtrooper is so versatile. You could take a stormtrooper and put it in any environment. You could put it in the grass, you could put it in the dirt, by the water, on the beach, and it fits. It fits perfectly, and that's why I love shooting Star Wars in general, and especially Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers are soldiers, so there's always lots of action going on. So the nature of a Stormtrooper just works with the style of toy photography that I like to do. So I'd probably just be Stormtroopers. If I had to choose one, I would just choose a basic Stormtrooper. Probably, but that's such a fun question. These are such fun questions. Thank you, guys. So the next one's from Raven0696. Name a franchise, any medium, you want figures of, and which company do you want making them? Raven, that's such a great question. And actually, I did a whole stream about basically all the figures that I want that we don't have. And it's kind of cut short, unfortunately, because I was having internet problems. Yeah, I have a lot of live streams that were cut short and screwed up because of some technical issue. Always happens. But Raven, I've thought of a character recently that I should have added into that list that I did not talk about in that video. And you know what? That is the Grinch. Why is there not any figures of the Grinch? In any form. We've got the classic Grinch from the animated movie. We've got Jim Carrey, in my opinion, the ultimate Grinch, the best Grinch. And there's even the new one too, with the animated one with Benedict Cumberbatch, which is still good, but not my favorite. Why don't we have a Grinch figure? Mine would be, if I could have a Grinch figure, I want NECA to create a Jim Carrey Grinch figure with all kinds of faces and stuff, and that would be amazing. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be freaking amazing. Lucky, Harley's over here, right in the same room.
That would be amazing.
Yes, I know she loves the Grinch. But Val says, I think they did some Grinch toys when the film came out. I'm sure they did. Jim Carrey one. Siva says, hey Jared, since people in the live chat are eager to ask live questions, how many are left on Instagram so they know when they can expect to have their question answered? There's a few. There is a few. So what I'll do is I'll continue to answer questions on here, and then I'll try to do back and forth. I'll do one on here, and then I'll do one in the live chat. But I'll do my best. I'll do my absolute best. But yeah, the Grinch, I want there to be a Jim Carrey Grinch by NECA. I want NECA to make a Jim Carrey Grinch. I mean, I feel like NECA would be perfect. You know, so yeah, that's what I'm going to answer for that question. Definitely. Okay, so let's see. The next question I'm seeing in the live chat right now is oh, Raven. Hey, Raven, he's right here. Okay, let's see. Okay, Yosefi L says, in your opinion, and this is from the live chat, what is the best lens to replace a stock Canon kit lens? That's a great question. That's a question that I actually get often, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest lens expert. I'm always learning, and I'm doing a lot of research on my own to learn more I can about lenses and stuff. I'm really not the most epic expert, but I have learned a lot recently. And I used my Canon kit 18-55 millimeter lens, which was great and worked fantastic for me for a while. And the next thing I picked up after that was the Canon 50 millimeter f1.8 lens. And I used it for forever until recently. I kind of changed my whole camera gear, but not because of the lens. That's not why I changed. But it's the Nifty 50. I'm sure a lot of people know exactly the lens I'm talking about. A lot of people use it. Snap Phase over here says, yeah, the 50 millimeter 1.8. I would definitely recommend the 50 millimeter 1.8 lens. It's so versatile, and what I like about it is you can bring, the f-stop goes all the way down to f1.8, which is really cool because you can blur, or not blur, but you can put all this stuff out of focus in the background, which I think looks really cool and have a very crispy thing on your subject. And also, since when you can go down to f1.8, it works really well in like low light settings, because the lower your aperture number is, the brighter your picture gets. And I like shooting in low light because I like shooting explosions and stuff like that. And the 50 millimeter is fantastic like that. And Snap Phase is also saying the bokeh. Yes, you get a lot of nice bokeh stuff with that lens as well. So I would recommend, 50 millimeter is great. It's very versatile. It's good for a lot of things. I use it obviously for toy photography, and I also use it often when I'm I take like my girlfriend Harleen over here is a cosplayer, and I take all of her pictures, and I use that same lens for that too, and it works great. So it's very versatile. You can use it for a lot of things, and it's fantastic. And now I'm gonna go back to the Instagram questions. So let's see. Titan Man Master 001 says, "What's your favorite figure line?" Favorite figure line, and this changes all the time. And that's tough. So I like so many of them for so many reasons. I really like Mafex. I really like Mafex figures. Pretty much all the DC stuff that I really love. My favorite figures are made by Mafex. I have all of my Justice League stuff at Mafex. Actually, except for my Wonder Woman. I have a figure arts Wonder Woman. And I have a lot of great Mafex stuff coming in. I really like Mafex. I really love SH Figure Arts for like that same reason. But probably my favorite is going to be the Black Series. So I got all these Black Series here. All that and a lot more. You can't see them all. But Black Series I love because they're available. You can find them at Walmart. You can find them at GameStop, at Target, stuff like that. They're $20 most of the time. They're around $20. They're affordable and they look good and there's so many of them and it's Star Wars. So the Black Series I definitely love. Definitely love the Black Series. It's probably my favorite. And it's probably what I shoot the most often too. But then at the same time, like my favorite figure, actually, this is a segue into the next question that I'm seeing here. So the next question on here is from Lights Camera Action Figures. Hey dude, says what's the most photogenic figure in your opinion? And I was just gonna say, the figure that I love the most, that I shoot all the time, is my SH Figure Arts Mandalorian, which I absolutely love that figure. The last 2 photos I posted on Instagram were with that same figure, and I've shot it so many times. It's so photogenic. It's so shiny, and posing is so good. I could do so much with him. He just always looks good. He just like makes my photos look nicer than they actually are. And which is ironic because my favorite figure is not from my favorite line. I don't know. So I'm gonna go to the next question here. The next question I see is from Roy Gyunta. Sorry, I'm Roy. I probably totally sounded like a dweeb saying your last name if I said it wrong. Said, what's the best camera to use? The best camera to use is the one in your hand. Oh, that's not a question. So yeah, that's true. When you have a camera in your hand, that's probably the best one to use. So that was not a question, that was a statement. Okay, so Dino Boy Toy Photos says, how do you know the shot is right? Do you see a spot and I think what's good, or see a spot you move? Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, Plastic Action is here. Jax, hey, how's it going, dude? Thanks for watching. I literally just was mentioning you, which wouldn't be the first time, but thanks for being here, dude. You are the man. We're just asking some questions. Well, I'm answering them, I suppose. But Dino says, how do you know the spot is right? Do you see a spot and think that's good, or do you go to a spot and move the figure around to see? That's a great question. How do you know what's the best spot? Well, usually when I go to take a photo, I'll kind of envision something. I'll have just a picture in my mind, and if the picture involves what I'm envisioning really has a background that is involving in the photo, because sometimes I take a picture where the background doesn't matter. Background doesn't matter what's going on, just everything what the characters are doing and the effects, that's what matters, and the background doesn't matter. So sometimes I'll just stick it on a rock, and it doesn't matter where the hell I am because the background doesn't matter. But then sometimes I'll have a very specific vision where, like, okay, I need trees, and I need this, and then I'll kind of create my spot with sticks and stuff like that, or whatever. But then sometimes I'll be walking around, and I'll see a spot, and then I'll get inspired by the spot, and then I'll base my whole photo around the spot. Like, wow, I really like the moss right there. I think I want to take a photo at the moss. And so my photo will kind of be revolving around the moss. So it's different every time. So I don't think that there's one good way to find a right spot, but just keep in mind there's just so many different things, so many different ways for you to set up stuff like that, you know. So yeah, that's a really good question. So now I'm going back to a question on Instagram. So this is from you're the man, dude, but I never know how to say your name, but it's Ochis Arabia. Ochis Arabia? Sorry, man, if I'm saying it wrong, but he says the advantages and disadvantages to both a cell phone and a camera. That's okay. So actually, Work More or Less, which is I'm sure most of you guys know him, fantastic toy photographer, big inspiration of mine. He did this really cool post where he did the same exact photo, one with a phone and one with his DSLR, and it's really cool to see the difference, and you'd be really surprised. Like, the phone one came out really good. I mean, I think that maybe the one he did with the DSLR or whatever, because you have a little bit of more control with things with your DSLR. You can adjust a lot more, and you can fiddle around with your camera and to get what you're looking for. On a phone, you're a lot more limited with what you can do. And to be honest, I used to only shoot with my phone. For a while, that was the only thing I did. And phones are a lot different now. You can actually do a lot more adjusting with phones and actual settings and stuff, which is really cool. So I'm not really super experienced with the new phones, so I'm not really good at answering this question. So I would say an advantage with your phone is it's nice and easy. It's something you already got in your pocket. You can just whip it out, take a quick picture, and it probably will look fantastic. You know, it's just so easy. A DSLR is pretty daunting, especially if you've never really done anything before. You're like, geez, how the hell do I use this thing? And that can be really daunting, and that can be what's the word? That can be
disheartening.
Not disheartening. It can be discouraging. It can be discouraging when you're like, how do I use this thing? And you give up. I've definitely felt like that before, and that can be definitely a disadvantage. I would say there are definitely advantages to both. In my mind, using a DSLR has more advantages. But yeah. So, all right, I'm going to go next to a question in the chat here. Well, Jamie Hild says, Jared, when I start my own YouTube channel, you should check it out. Jamie, when you have your own YouTube channel, I definitely want to check it out. Please send it over to me when you have that done. And yes, Siva says discouraging. Yes, that was that was the word I was thinking of. But I'm sure you thought of it right when I needed it, but I'm only seeing it afterwards. Jurassic Recreated is here. Thanks for being here, dude. Let's see. Well, you guys are actually been really doing great here. Okay, so Goja Fan, how's it going, dude? Says, are you going to do photography with Predator, Alien, or Godzilla? You know, I've always really wanted to do like Godzilla and like giant Kaiju Shots. I'm a huge Pacific Rim fan. I love Pacific Rim. I have like almost all of the NECA figures when it came out, but I don't shoot them very often because I don't really have the I don't have the buildings and like the stuff to make it look to scale. And with giant Kaiju stuff, you really need that stuff. You can't go and stick it in the grass and be like, wow, okay, so why is there grass that's like 1,000 stories tall, the same size as Godzilla? It doesn't really make sense. So like, when you shoot with big giant things like that, you have to really have other props to sell the size and the scale that Godzilla is with. And I've always really wanted to do that, but I just don't have that stuff. And so I know where to get some really great buildings. I know somebody that makes them, but I just haven't made that investment, and I would really have a lot of fun doing that. And yes, I definitely would love to do that, but I gotta make the jump and do it. That'd be so much fun. I can do Power Ranger stuff too, with Rita making her monsters grow, Pacific Rim, and I can do Godzilla stuff, and Ultraman stuff. There'd be so many cool giant kaiju things to do. But yeah, I gotta do that. All right. So next question is from another one from Oches Arabia. When using a DSLR, is it better to have a low f-stop or a high f-stop? With this emoji. Jorge is here. How's it going, Jorge? And using the Toxin emoji. Maybe Toxin will join us soon. Maybe. They're probably both sleeping. But it's never, I wouldn't say it's better to do it's better to have a high f-stop than a low, or it's better to this. It's different for different things. Of course. I mean, like, it depends on what you're going for. If you want to have a very, like, a photo with a lot of stuff in focus, you take a picture of like one figure and you want to have all the other figures really like crisply in focus and everything else around crisply in focus, you can see everything, that you're going to want to have a higher f-stop, so then you can get all of that stuff in focus. But if you want like a picture of just one character, you have one stormtrooper and he's running and have all this out of focus explosions and all this other stuff happening in the background that's out of focus, then you might want to have a lower f-stop because it'll put everything out of focus except for your subject or your photo. I have a lot more information on that in my camera settings tutorial if you're interested in camera settings, stuff like that, and f-stop and what it's good for and some visual examples. I have all that in my my camera settings tutorial on the YouTube channel. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. But that was a really great question. Let's see. Next question in the live chat is Outer Rim Juvenile says, "What's your favorite Marvel character?" My favorite Marvel character. It's recently changed very much, but my favorite Marvel character ever is the cute little crocodile guy from Loki. I'm sure everyone here's watched Loki, and you know that little Loki alligator guy? He's an alligator, not a crocodile. He's my favorite Marvel character. He's just amazing. If you watch that, he's just like, just look at him. He's just amazing. He's adorable, and I guess that's really it. I know, but seriously, I really do. He's so cute. I love that guy. But my actual favorite Marvel character is Silver Surfer. Absolutely love Silver Surfer. I always thought he was just a really cool looking design, and that's why I initially thought he was awesome. And that's what initially got me into reading comics, because I really liked Silver Surfer, but there wasn't really a lot of him in any other medium except for in the comics. You know, there weren't any Silver Surfer movies. There weren't any this, you know, and so I was like, all right, I want to start reading comics. I want to know more about this guy. And so that's what really got me into reading comics, actually, is Silver Surfer. And then, of course, he was in the Fantastic Four 2 movie, which isn't the best movie ever, but I thought Silver Surfer was so cool in that movie. I think they did a pretty good job with him. I mean, some stuff. The fact that he loses his board, he loses all his powers, that was just actually kind of frustrated me. That came out a long time ago. But, yeah, Silver Surfer, I love that guy. I love that guy. So, over on Instagram, the next question is from Average Guy Collects. Awesome dude. Thanks for sending that in, my friend. It says, what's your current go-to camera and lens combo? Currently, I'm using Sony A7 III, Sony Alpha 7 III, with a 40 millimeter f2.5 lens. And I'm very new to using Sony. I talked about this in the last thing, but I actually was, someone from Sony reached out to me, and they had some really cool ideas for me to do with them, which is just really exciting, and more will come. But basically, the first thing to do was to get me to start using Sony in order for that to happen. So right now, I'm using the Sony Alpha 7 III, and the lens I'm using, the 40 millimeter f.2 or f2.5, is really awesome. It's very similar to the 50 millimeter we were talking about. The aperture doesn't go quite as low as the f1.8. Doesn't go quite as low, but it goes 2.5, which is pretty dang close. But I love it because I can get my camera a lot closer to the subject, which I can't really do so much in the with the 50 millimeter. I have to be very far away. Hey Tom, how's it going, dude? He's right here, using the laughing emoji. I'm glad I made that emoji. For the longest time, I thought it was so silly. But yeah, but the Sony Alpha 7 is actually really awesome. There's a lot more. From what I've experienced, I'm enjoying using the Sony more than the Canon. It was a lot more difficult to get used to, but overall, I have a lot more options of what I can do with things, and I've really learned a lot about stuff since I started learning to use the Sony camera. I feel like I've just learned a lot about cameras just from using it because I've been forced to. And the lens is great too, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's my current stuff I'm using. Yeah. The lens, Crow T Robot, hey, says, what lens are you using? It's the 40 millimeter f2.5 lens from Sony, and it's awesome. So next question is one in the live chat. It's from Jamie. Jamie Hill says, hey Jared, I have a question. Do you think Kylo Ren killed Grogu with the rest of Luke Skywalker's other students? Actually, I probably like many people, that was the first thing I thought of when we saw, the season finale of Mandalorian season 2. I was like, okay, Luke gets Grogu, but Kylo Ren literally kills all of Luke's Jedi academy that he's so does Grogu die by Kylo? And then that was the first thing I thought, and I was like, what the hell? This sucks. But then I was thinking, there's no way. That's not what happened. Why would they set up this fantastic lovable, adorable character that's literally took over the world. Why would they create this character? Siva says, "Whoa, spoilers." Any Star, if you haven't seen The Mandalorian season 2, what the heck are you doing? What the heck? But why would they create this character if they're just gonna have it be killed by Kylo Ren off camera? That's stupid. So I'm sure in further seasons of probably Mandalorian or any other Star Wars stuff, we'll probably see Grogu again, and his story will continue, and he'll probably be he won't get killed by Kylo Ren. Or maybe he becomes a Knight of Ren. Probably not. All right, so let's see here. Okay, next question is from Fox Toy Box. I know Fox, I saw you in here earlier. Says, you can have a custom figure of anything. What are you choosing? A custom figure of anything. Well, I really badly want, there's a lot of figures that I want, but I really badly want a V for Vendetta figure. That movie was huge for me for a while, then I read the comic and I love it even more. But there's no real good V figures. I have the only two that exist, but they're not so great. They're kind of just like little statues, and they're cool, but that's it. And I want like Mezco to make one. And I've seen, I think it's Switpics on Instagram, really great toy photographer. I've seen him take pictures of this V figure he has, and I'm pretty sure it's a custom. I mean, obviously, it's definitely a custom, because it's not, that's not a real, whatever, V official figure, because I would know about that. And it's really awesome. It's really awesome. Mandible Smasher said he's reading V for Vendetta right now. That's really cool. Brand new coincidence. Yeah, I want his custom V. That's what I want. That Switpix has. Yeah, so that's what I would want, Fox. So Jorge says, did you try the G.I. Joe Classified series? To be honest, I'm, and I've talked about this I think probably before. I don't know like crap about G.I. Joe. It's not, I think it was maybe before my time. I didn't really grow up with it, so I don't really have any real connection with the G.I. Joe characters, the franchise at all. I don't really have that kind of connection, so I don't really know much about the figures, because I mean I pay attention to them because I see them in the store and I see people taking photos of them, and I think they're really cool figures. They look awesome, the characters look cool, I just don't know anything about them. But I think they're awesome, and I've considered buying some of them sometime. I saw the new Snake Eyes movie. I didn't love it, but I thought it was cool, and I'm excited for the next G.I. Joe movie, so yeah, that's really all I guess I can say with the G.I. Joe figures. So, yeah. Thanks, Fox. Oh, no, Fox, that was from Jorge. Sorry, dude. Tom over here saying that he would love Spaceball figures. Yeah, that would be great. I could see NECA doing that. I could absolutely see NECA doing that. But let's see. So the Don Rooster says, what's the first figure that got you into collecting? I don't know. First figure that got me. Well, okay, so I don't know maybe the first figure it was, but the thing that really got me into collecting, obviously I had toys as a kid, and I just wanted more, and I just, whatever, always wanted to have like a bunch of figures of all my favorite characters. I want to have one of each. I want to have a Batman, I want to have this and this. But, and I was probably, it was probably like 2013 or so, so I was maybe like, what, 20 years old, 21, I don't know. But this store opened up near me called I Has Toys. And the owner and everybody worked there were just really great people, and I just loved it there. And it was literally just all figures, and it was like totally unique to any other toy store I've ever been to. A bunch of really cool stuff you don't see very often. A bunch of loose figures, like some new stuff, but mostly just like loose figures, old figures, new figures, just all kinds of stuff. And I just was being in there, was just like, oh my god, this place is so cool. I want to collect all of these and be all. So that store is really what got me into collecting. So. And I've told the owner that before, told him it's all because of him. So, yeah, I Has Toys, that's what did it. I owe a lot to that guy, jeez. If I never started collecting, I wouldn't be doing any of this right now. So, let's see. Okay, so the next question is going to be from the live chat. Let's see. I want to ask one from somebody who hasn't gotten one yet. let's see. Uh, uh, let's see. Snap phase. I don't think you actually had a question. So he says, I'm curious about a 45 or 65 millimeter macro lens would be like for toy photography pictures. To be honest, I have never used either of those, but I bet you they'd be fantastic. I feel like, what lens is like? I feel like you could take any lens, and you could figure out a way to make it really cool with toy photography. Like, you know what? I'm sure either of those macro lenses would be fantastic. There's probably so much you could do with those. There's this one guy, I don't know what the name is of the lens, but it's one of those really narrow lenses that's like this long. His Instagram name is like Shoot Toys, just like Shoot Toys. And he does these ridiculous, awesome Star Wars shots with this super lens that gets real up close and you can see everything. It's so cool. Wow, it's such an awesome lens. But yeah, I'm sure you could probably do something amazing with any of those. Bet you could. So Mandible Smasher, super awesome guy, says, what is your favorite animated series? What's my favorite animated series? Of course, Harleen over here is whispering Harley Quinn. No, that's not my favorite animated series. Maybe yours. But probably the most influential animated series that's had the biggest like impact on my life is Dragon Ball Z. It's got to be. To be honest, I haven't watched the series in a few years. I got to do that again. But yeah, so much of my life has kind of, like, watching that show as a kid, that has kind of like shaped the person and the things I love now is because of that show. And I, collect tons of Dragon Ball figures. I think that's probably probably my favorite animated series. It's got to be Dragon Ball Z. Gotta be. All right, so Roy over here saying Batman the Animated Series. That is also a hugely influential series, because that's so many of us from our generation, we started loving superheroes because of that series, Let's see. Next question is, let's see, next one. Benjamin Ewing. Ben says, hey Ben, Action Photography. What do you use, a kit lens or the big lens for figures? Okay, so kit lens or the big lens? What I talked about recently, the lens that I'm currently using is the 40 millimeter Sony lens, but both of the kit lenses that I first initially got, the 18 to 55 millimeter, that one's really great and it's very versatile, and like you can do a ton of that, with that lens. So. And then it also came with a different, longer. Honestly, I can't remember, and I didn't use that very much because it was definitely a lens that was kind of like for distance. It was like it zoomed in a whole lot. It was like 100 to whatever millimeter, and actually it wasn't super great for toy photos. But I didn't use that one too much, to be honest. So yeah, that's probably my answer to that. So, let's see, Krasny Phillip says, can you show my photos from my posts in your video, please? I like your photos. Well, thanks, Krasny Phillip. But, yeah, every single month we have a Toy Photographer Reacts video. That's what I kind of call the series. And anybody who joins joins the challenge and takes a photo with the theme and like puts it in the right hashtag, it'll be on the show. It'll be in the video. So Krasny Phillip, if you're interested in how to do it, all the rules are currently on the YouTube channel under the community tab. It's still the last post in there. And also, if you go to my most recent Instagram post with Mandalorian and Baby Yoda taking a toy photo together, all the rules are in there as well. So if you want to be on the show, and that goes for anybody, if you want to be on the Toy Photographer React stream, which is going to be on December 3rd, yeah, that's how you do it. And I hope you all, there's some awesome stuff in there already. So, yeah, I can't wait to do that. It's totally, that's going to be so much fun. So, the next one's going to be from the live chat. This is from Bill. Hey, Bill. Do you have any tips for showing motion in photos, whether practically or through Photoshop? Showing motion. So that's a tough. Well, there's a lot of different ways, I guess, to try and show motion. But what I like to do, and I know everybody probably has seen this kind of thing in my photos, but when I'm having moving particles and stuff, like dirt flying around or water flying around, and it's all kind of crisply captured in a different area. Like if I'm having a guy running and I have like dirt flying by his foot, something that can really sell the action. I mean, most of the time it's really exaggerated. Like when I run on the ground, there's not dirt going all over the place over my head. I'm just thinking about that. That just sounds really funny. But man, in my toy photo, that's what's going on. If a figure stormtrooper's running, he's gonna have dirt flying all over the place. Yeah, I usually will try to use practical effects like that to sell the motion going on in this still photo. But at the same time, if you really would like to, like if you're editing something in Photoshop and you want to add a little bit of motion to something, you can use the motion blur filter. I use that very often. Like, so for instance, if I'm having somebody swinging a sword, I'll add like a motion blur filter on the sword, and that will make it look like the sword's moving, and you can adjust the direction of where you want it to go in Photoshop. I'm trying to think if I've done that in any of the editing videos. I don't think I have. So the next time I do that, I'll have to do it. But yeah, the motion blur in Photoshop is perfect for that. So there you go. Ronan Photography sends a super chat. Ronan, thank you so much, man. Seriously appreciate that. But he says, hey, my dude, me again. Remember that time I recommended you to Madness Combat? Just wondering, have you watched it? Madness Combat. I'm trying to remember that. That must. I'm trying to remember. Ronan, send me if you recommending me something and I'm not if I'm not doing it, send it to me on Instagram and I will 100%. Then I'm basically forced to check out and I can't forget. Check it out. So yeah, send it over to me on Instagram, dude, and I will 100% check that out. And thanks again for sending it in. Seriously. So next comes from Super Pufferfish 129. Says, and thanks Super Pufferfish. You're always super supportive and commenting and sharing on stuff all the time. Says, what's your best camera? My best camera is the little miniature one that I use in my toy photos sometimes. That's the best one. I do like that one. I got it on eBay for like $10. But no, the one I'm currently using, it's a Sony Alpha 7 III. I know I talked about it already. I won't go too much, but yeah, it's actually it's a really fantastic camera, the Sony Alpha. I talked about it a little bit earlier too, but I'm finding myself having a lot more options with my settings with it and different things that I didn't even know existed. You know, things that my Canon and stuff like that I couldn't do. So I'm a big fan of the Sony Alpha. So far, so amazing. Okay, live chat question now. Oh, this flip flop is going pretty good. Let's see. Oh, Siva says, here comes a you should comment, but I had a cool thought. Siva says, do a photo challenge, except you're not allowed to submit a toy photo. Just submit a piece of art that you think is cool to you. That's a pretty cool idea. Yeah, I mean, I think eventually with these challenges, I'm going to have to start getting real creative and doing some really, because I got to keep things fresh. So we might have to do that eventually, Siva. But let's see. Next question in the live chat. Live chat question. Anthony Shortbox says, what advice do you have for trying to make vehicles look like they're moving? That's a really great question. You could do the same exact thing I was talking about selling motion and things using. You can do the same exact kind of stuff. Having moving particles, using motion blur, that kind of thing. Actually, with the motion blur filter, you can choose to have the motion going in a circular motion when you use it. So if you were to just select like the wheels of a car on your photo when you're in Photoshop, and you can select the motion blur and have it be circular, and you put it on the wheels, and that can really help it look like the car is moving, because you can add like motion blur on the wheels. So that's that would be cool. And then also like a car, you could add motion blur in the background too, so it looks like everything else is moving really quickly except for the the car, because the camera's focused on the car. So that's definitely something you could do as well. For making a car. And I honestly, I don't have a whole lot of experience with cars, but I have done a little bit of car vehicle photos before, and that's what I usually did, those kinds of techniques. All right, next one's from A Photographer's Journey. What's your favorite Pokemon? Yeah, this is great. What's your favorite Pokemon, and what's your favorite shot you've ever taken? Okay, two really awesome questions. So my favorite Pokemon's Feraligatr. So I played Pokemon Blue as my first Pokemon game, but the first game that really like hit me hard was Pokemon Silver. Actually, no, it was Crystal. It was Crystal I played first, but because that was my first Pokemon game. Like my mom got me, because all the other stuff I used was like my brother's. You know, it was my brother's game. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Crystal, and so getting Totodile. As my starter, and I love Feraligatr. My first Pokemon tattoo that I got was Feraligatr, and yeah, Feraligatr is definitely my favorite Pokemon. Love that guy. He doesn't get enough love. And what's my favorite shot I've ever taken? There's one photo I always had an answer for this. There's one photo that I took quite a few years ago with the patrol trooper running, and there's an explosion and a splash. It was the first time I was ever able to pull off like water and an explosion, and this is the first time I ever took a photo, and I was like, wow, this actually looks really cool. I like what I've created a lot. And so that photo really was like a big milestone for me, and I used that for a lot of my like Sirdork brand kind of things. So if you go to sirdork.com on my website, that photo is kind of everywhere. It's kind of like my everything. So that's my favorite photo. That's definitely my favorite photo. A Photographer's Journey. Thank you for sending that in. TCW Studios. Thanks for being here, dude. How's it going? So let's see. Next question. From Toy Art Unlimited. How's it going, my friend? He said that I dig your Pokemon stuff. What's the best Ash to shoot? Actually, anytime I ever post a picture with like a Pokemon trainer, usually I use my Figma red figure, but I always people are like, what figure is that? What figure is that? And it's hard to get a good Ash figure, but I actually just got another one. So usually the one I see that you'll see me using in my photos, that's the red figure by Figma. It's not Ash. I mean, this is a whole debate, but Red is the character from the video games and from the manga. Ash is from the anime. So I'm usually using that red, the figure of Red. And I actually, it's a Figma Red by Good Smile. That's the one I use. He's kind of hard to get a hold of. Yeah. Tom says, oh, Ash. I thought he said ass. I was going to try to think of something witty for that, but I had nothing. But no, Ash, Tom. But yeah, that red figure is really great. And I actually just got a hold of a different Ash figure from SH Figure Arts. That figure is amazing, and it's definitely the best Ash figure around. So if you want to get the best Ash figure, try to find that SH Figure Arts one. Not easy to get a hold of, I'm telling you right now, unless you want to drop a bunch of money. Same thing with that Red, unfortunately, but I'm sure they'll come out with new ones again. Figma actually does a lot of different Pokemon trainer figures, and they're all different figures from the games specifically. So, yeah. Okay, so the next question is from Instagram. So Imperial War Photographer says, will you do some more Star Wars themed pictures in the future? I think that was probably a rhetorical question, right? Because I think you probably knew the answer to that. Because the answer to that is yes. Of course I will. Heck yeah! Actually, the next photo that I plan to do is actually a Star Wars photo. It's like the figure's right over there. I got that new Flame Trooper figure from GameStop from Jedi Fallen Order. So I'm gonna have some cool thing with him. Of course, there's gonna be fire in the photo. Duh. So, yeah, definitely. So Collect and Conquer says, "Hey Jared, what do you think about the Sony Alpha 6000 series? To be honest, Collect and Conquer, which is really cool. I hope there's a play on Command and Conquer, probably. Um, to be honest, I have no idea. I have never used anything from the Sony Alpha 600 figures, but 6000. So I'm assuming it's probably similar to the Sony Alpha 7 or 7 whatever series. I'm assuming it's somewhat similar, and that's what I'm using right now, and I love it a lot. So I'm assuming if it's anything similar to that, it's probably great. It's probably fantastic. I'm sure it's probably great, and like the camera is definitely a big deal. What camera you have for sure, but at the same time, whatever camera you have, you can create something great. It's not really about the camera. It's about the photographer and the mind of the photographer and stuff like that. So I bet you if you got that Sony Alpha 6000, you could do something awesome. And if you got something else different, you could do something awesome with it. And that's, yeah, that's easy. Easy question. Yeah. And so Jamie, I know I'm going back to the live chat, but Jamie said, I just seeing your question and I want to answer it. Jamie or Jared, have you ever seen The Walking Dead? Totally random question. And yeah, for a very long time, The Walking Dead was like my favorite show ever. And Rick Grimes was like my guy. Freaking love Rick. He's the man. And then I kind of fell off of it for a while. Eventually, I kind of lost a little bit of, kind of lost interest. The writing started to get a little bit not so great. And then recently, I was like, you know what? I gotta catch up, and I binged the last couple seasons, and it was really good again. It was so good. And the last thing I saw was like a huge cliffhanger. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that. And it was the season with the people who dressed up like zombies, basically, like walkers. And oh yeah, so good. I'm not gonna get too far into that, but yes, I love The Walking Dead, and I haven't seen the most recent season, but yeah, definitely love The Walking Dead. Let's see. So next question in Instagram is from FieryPool18. I know this is probably a popular question, but any tips for better photos? So that you're right. It's a popular question, and with good reason. As anybody who is a photographer or anybody who's doing anything, you want to get better at it and you want to be the best you can be. That's not an unreasonable question. That's why it's popular, because it's a reasonable question. But it's also a difficult question to ask. There's so much about making your photos better that there's so many different things. It's not just like one. It's never such a simple thing where it's just I just need to do this and my photos will get better. So what I like to say whenever I get this question is, my best tip is to keep taking photos. Keep shooting all the time. Try new things. Challenge yourself. And go out of your comfort zone. Do different stuff. Like if you think of a photo where you're like, oh man, that would be awesome, but you're like, I can't pull that off. I can't do that. That's too hard for me. That's when you should try to do it. Because if you do it, and then, maybe it'll come out awesome. You never know how good maybe you really are. But maybe you'll try it and it won't work out that well, but you will learn so much from it. You'll do it and this something didn't work, whatever, so you're like, okay, now I know for next time not to do this because that didn't work out. And every time you do that, you learn something, you get better, and you just get better and better and better. And that's how I've learned most of my things. I mean, I've done a lot of research. I've learned things on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got better. But also, I kind of have to say this. If you want lots of tips, watch my tutorials here on YouTube. I have a lot of tips in those videos. So if you want to get better at toy photography, learn some stuff, I have some really informational videos. So definitely check out the videos on the channel. Tutorials playlist, the basics playlist. Yeah. So definitely that too. Gotta mention that. Okay, so next question from the live chat. Siva says, this is really great. He says, failure breeds growth. You have to accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes and maybe take some bad photos. LOL. It's true. I've done it. I have done it. Definitely. The next question in the live chat Wow, I just spat a lot. Says, any tips on lighting? So actually the next tutorial I'm going to make is toy photography lighting. And this is something that I have, for so long, I feel like I didn't really have a very good understanding about lighting. And so lighting, yeah, I feel like I have a much better understanding of what it is now. And I really want to make a really great video. So what I would say is lighting is so much more about, so what I used to think lighting was like, okay, can you see the figure? Okay, the lighting's good. You can see it. It's lit. It is literally illuminated so I can see it. That's not what lighting is about. Lighting is about the way light travels through the world, whatever. When light travels and hits me right now, it's, I mean, and sorry, this is the worst example because I have like crazy lighting. But if you're looking at me, I have like light on this side and it's darker on this side because the light is coming from this direction. It's hitting me here and it's bouncing off of all the different creases on my face. When I do this, you can see this line because the light is not hitting it and there's whatever. And I have like this weird bump on my nose because, and so light hits things and it reacts to things very differently. And so every action figure, light will bounce and make really cool, creative looking shadows. And it's all about how the light hits things. So if I were to take the light that's bouncing on me, move it around, it would change the way my face looks all the time. And so lighting is all about, can totally change the feeling of a photo. So when you're taking your photo and you have a light, whether it be a lume cube or the sun or something like that, think about how the light is hitting the figure and how cool it looks when it's hitting it like that, and move it around. I like to put the light behind things a lot or on both sides, and a really cool way to make things look awesome or dramatic. So think about lighting that way as opposed to just like, okay, I can see it, I don't need to change it or whatever. And if you're an outdoor toy photographer, think about different times of the day where the sun is. If the sun is right, you know, at noon, it's going to hit here and it's going to change the way it looks. But if it's just at sunset, it's really dramatic, all from the side, stuff like that. There's so many different ways to think about lighting in that way. So, sorry, that was kind of a big spiel, like tangent on lighting, but that's basically what my tutorial is going to be about. When I haven't really gone that far, but that's kind of what it's going to be about. So, Francisco Serda in the live chat says, any tutorials on Atmosphere Aerosol? Well, first of all, yeah, shout out to Atmosphere Aerosol. Freaking awesome. Great stuff. I do have a really great tutorial on actually using Atmosphere Aerosol. It's not labeled as how to use Atmosphere Aerosol. It's labeled as I labeled it as how to capture sun rays. Or is it how to capture light rays? Capturing sun rays in toy photography. It's all about using Atmosphere Aerosol, really. So check out that tutorial for sure. And actually, Tom, I saw this come up and I want to answer this. He said, Jared, when's the next toy photography immersion? So far, the next one on the trip is actually, it's going to be in the UK. It's not going to be in the US, it's going to be in the UK. And it's going to be longer, it's going to be for like a week. It's going to be so awesome. In 2022, the date is escaping me. Babe, when's the London trip around? At least what month it is? I'm totally spacing right now, but it's going to be in the UK, and it's if you go to learningjourneys.com and you go through and you search for toy photography, look at all the programs, it's all right on there. But yeah, it's in the UK in 2022, and actually I talked about this earlier, but actually from November 28th and the 29th, there's a Black Friday deal on Learning Journeys. You can get 22% off that program, which is pretty sweet. It's a much bigger one than the other ones. It's a week long. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be huge. So yeah, that's the next one. And we are also working on getting, this one hasn't been put on the website yet, but October again in Lake Placid, New York for 2022 for Lake Placid. So that's the next immersion there in October. So yeah, that's awesome too. Lots gonna happen. So I hope some toy photographers in the UK are able to join this. I can meet some of the awesome UK um, toy toy photo peeps through the. Oh my gosh! I hope I can meet some of the awesome people I know in the UK on that toy photography immersion. That will be so awesome. So okay, next question is in here. Let's see. From Soulless Photography, how can I add good backgrounds to photos in Photoshop? Whew, that's, to be honest, that's not something I'm very familiar with. Adding them in Photoshop. What I like to do, Soulless, is and this is not because I think it's better. This is just because I'm more comfortable with it. I like to try any background I like to have. I'll try to get that background in camera as much as I can, because it's easier to edit, and I feel like there's more that I can do that way. I'm better at doing that, I think. So I would say, let's try to get the background as much as you can in camera. And you know, if you want to take a picture on Tatooine in the desert, and you don't live by the desert, that's not always super easy. So try doing the whole digirama technique, which was created by our very own Work More or Less, awesome toy photographer. The digirama technique is basically using a TV screen as the background. So if you wanted to have a photo of Luke on Tatooine, you can... Oh, Turtle Stream says, bye. Turtle, bye. See you around. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so if you want to have Luke in the desert on Tatooine, you could pull up a picture on your computer screen of Tatooine, put your action figure in front of it, and then this computer screen will look like the background. It'll look like he's on Tatooine. And then you can kind of like put sand down by the figure too, so you can kind of like make that environment. And let's say the sun is coming from this direction in the photo. Then you can take a light and put it over in this direction too, so then the lighting kind of matches what's going on in the background, so it all, you know, sells the whole environment kind of thing. And I don't do that very often, to be honest. I've never done it and posted anything online before. I've only done it a couple times recently, actually, when I was doing some photos for Disney, which is crazy to think about. But I had to do these photos of Grogu, this snacking Grogu, this little Grogu toy that eats things, and they wanted him to be on the ship in the Razor Crest. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to use my TV. I got to figure this out. And so I tried it, and it was really great. It was really fun. So maybe one day I'll try to make a tutorial on that, but I have to master that first before I can do that. Definitely got to do that. So let's see. Tanner says, I've always wanted to do the TV technique. Yeah, give it a try. It's really, really great. It really, really is. Bill says, Bill Dawson says, I've used an oil diffuser or a fog before. The last time I burned sage. Wow, burning sage, that probably smelled great, first of all. But that probably made some really great smoke, for sure. Definitely. Let's see, I'm looking for the next question in the live chat. Question. You guys are, I love seeing you guys talk with each other in the live chat, and just kind of like, we have our own little like community in the live chat. It makes me so happy. Okay, Val Katis. Val says, oh, here's a good question. How do you make a figure with a lack of complex articulation look good in a photo? All right, that's tough. Okay, well, first of all, I would definitely fiddle with the figure a lot, and if it only has a couple really points of articulation, I would try to use those points of articulation to their fullest. You know, if the figure can only really do this, don't try to do a pose where he's like jumping with his arms like this, because that's not going to happen. Where he's jumping like this, it's not going to happen. Try to figure out a pose that... Try to utilize the strengths that the figure does have in a pose. So if it only does this, maybe he can do a good running pose because he's already able to do this. You know what I mean? Don't try to pose a figure in a pose that you know it can't do. Pose it in something you know it might actually be able to do. Use its strengths to your advantage. Don't try to put it in a pose that it can't do. That's what I would say. That's a great question. That's a really great question. Um, so Cool Boy on Instagram, Cool Boy Photography 902 says, favorite thing to shoot? What's your favorite thing to shoot? Well, I mean, action figures. Okay, you know what? Besides action figures, what's my favorite thing to shoot? I really like, and you guys are probably will be like, oh yeah, right, yep, definitely. I love shooting like cans, like soda cans, or bottles, soda bottles. I really enjoy shooting that kind of thing, a lot, and that's why you've probably seen me doing so many photos where there's some kind of soda can or something incorporated into the picture, like the Mountain Dew Power Ranger photos, which is one of my favorite things that I've ever done. I mean, I was proud of those photos. I really liked them, but also it was something that got the attention of Mountain Dew, and they sent me stuff and did a little work with them, which was so cool. So probably cans of stuff. I don't know why. I do. It's fun. I'm actually having a new project with this hot sauce company, and they want me to shoot them hot sauce bottles, which is so cool. So I'm really excited. So far, it's been really great. So that's my favorite thing to shoot besides toys. Trippy Shrimp says, what is one kind of shot you can never get, or some effect you've never nailed? That's tough. Okay, so one thing that I struggle with quite a bit is getting, so like kind of ensemble photos where I want to have a lot of like 3 or 4 characters in a photo. I want to have all of them, and I want each one of them to be equally crispy and in focus and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, the simple answer is, okay, we'll just crank your aperture up so then more is in focus. But then the more I do that, it does make things difficult, because then I get all other things in the background in there, and I don't really want that. Sometimes I want to have a blurred, out of focus background so I can still focus on the characters. But then, when I crank up the aperture, things are tough, because then it gets darker, and I can't have such a fast shutter speed, because that also makes it darker. And it's definitely a challenging thing, and it's something I think I've gotten a lot better at recently with, getting bigger ensemble kinds of shots. That's definitely something I struggle with, for sure. It's tough, and the way I've gotten better at it recently is by doing it and trying it, even though it's out of my comfort zone. But I do it. So that's probably my my thing. Lemon the Third says, "Hello, remember me?" Yeah, honestly, with a name like Lemon the Third, yeah, how could I forget you? Thanks for being here, my friend. So Mike Like Giraffe says, how do you get burn marks on your action figures? I used a small sparkler to burn the shoulder of one of my figures, but I'm too scared to ruin my figures. To be honest, that's what I did for a very long time to try and get that kind of weathered look. I actually would burn them. I would use a lighter and just a little bit, and it really does do the job, to be honest. But it's not. I would. You are damaging the figure, and you could really screw it up. So what I would do is, there's different kinds of just getting cheap acrylic paints, stuff like that. Is really a great way to weather your action figures. I have a whole tutorial on how to weather your action figures, so I would check that out. There's acrylic paints, shoe polish, stuff like that, which is yeah, I would definitely recommend watching that video to get that. So yeah, great question. So next one in the live or on Instagram says, what is the one childhood toy you wish you still had? What a great question. Yeah, that's a really great question. So let's see. Childhood toy. Oh, okay. Well, growing up, I was a huge Street Sharks fan. Absolutely loved that show. My brothers and I loved it. We had the Street Sharks movie, which, to be honest, it wasn't really much of a movie. I think it was just like the first 3 episodes, like bunched into one, and then they call it a movie. They do that a lot with animated stuff. But I love those guys, and we had just about every single one of them. We definitely did, but don't have them anymore, and I wish we did, because I love those figures. And I have 2 of them right now upstairs. I have Ripster and I have Slamu, but I gotta get Streaks and Jab. think that's their names. And Moby Lick. Gotta get those guys. So I definitely need to reacquire those Street Sharks figures. And I know Mattel is coming out with Street Sharks stuff soon. So, yeah. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen with those. So that's the one from No Chewing. That's the childhood figure. I still wish I had those. Let's see. Next question in the live chat. Jorge's throwing up Toxins in there. Actually, Toxin was just walking around. I should have grabbed him. Toxin, come here. LV says Street Sharks were cool. Alright, so let's see. Steve Morrow says, what figures do you have pre-ordered that you are most excited to get and still waiting on getting? Come here, buddy. Come here, Toxin. People are throwing up your emoji in the live chat. Here he is. Give him a belly rub. Maybe he'll stick around with me. Honestly, I have quite a few things on pre-order, but one thing I'm really looking forward to is I have the Mafex. He's gonna hang out. The Mafex Homelander. I can't wait for him. I cannot wait to take some shots with him. So, and he just got delayed again recently in another couple months. And I have some really cool ideas that I have already with him. Like, I have like an idea where he's like laser visioning like people, cutting them in half. I want to do that, and I have one where I want to have like Superman just like totally just effing him up, you know, like, because you know Homelander's like obviously a fake Superman, in the nicest way. I mean that because I like the character, fake Superman. But I want to show like in a photo that, you know, Superman would still kick the Homelander's butt if they ever met. And I want to do something like that. So that's the figure I'm looking forward to the most on pre-order right now. Definitely looking forward to that Homelander. Cannot wait. I have him pre-ordered on Ami, I believe. Bye, Toxin. Alright, so next question on Instagram is from ACO Clubs. What are the best? Yeah, I remember when it was action figures to use. Crap, Ace of Clubs, what are the best? Yeah, I remember when it action figures. What are the best action figures to use? Maybe that's what you meant. Anything. But like I was talking about before, my favorite line, the Black Series, are probably Star Wars Black Series by Hasbro. I would definitely say that's probably my favorite. So Matt Visions on Instagram says, what is one of your favorite experiences while shooting toy photography? So favorite experiences while I'm actually out. Honestly, this is a very special one, and this is like, in 2019, I was lucky enough to go to London. Disney flew me out from here in New York to go to London because they were doing this big My Star Wars Story kind of fan promotion thing, and they found my stuff on Instagram and they wanted me to be a part of it, which is just so cool. It was me and another guy named Dan Sparks, amazing guy, and I miss him. He's Rebel Jawa on Instagram. Great toy photographer, and we didn't really know each other beforehand, and so we both came to London. They flew us. Actually, he took a train because he's from the UK, but yeah, so we had an amazing time, and we got to shoot some Black Series figures that were not even revealed yet. So this was for The Force Awakens. It was, you know, the Sith Trooper, Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and then Rey in her new outfit. And this was before the Sith Trooper was even revealed, and anybody knew that the Sith Trooper even existed. So it was so cool. We get to hold these figures that nobody had, and so we went into this local forest and we took some photos of the figures, and geez, it was just such a cool experience. Something I'll remember for forever. So that's probably my favorite experience while shooting toy photography. Something I'll always remember, and hopefully the same thing for him. I'm sure hopefully he remembers that, and thinks about that goodly. I mean, I'm sucking with my terms today. So, Collect and Conquer says, Jared, any recommendations on a beginner camera for photography and live streaming? So the camera I would recommend for beginner toy photography is if you go to my my toy photography gear video, the one I recommend in that video, the Canon Rebel like T6. That was the one I started out with, so I always recommend that one. But for live streaming, and so live streaming, I am very, very new to live streaming, and that's why you probably see me do these live streams and I screw up and then I got, something happens. Like with this, with my phone in the beginning, I had to like change. But the camera that I use typically, it's a webcam for my live streaming. It's the Logitech 920 or something like that. The Logitech 920. And it's a pretty good webcam. It looks pretty good. I mean, you see it on the my normal live streams. It looks pretty good. It's not the best. It's not as crisp as anything else. But Collecting Cars says you're doing great. Thanks, dude. Thank you, man. But it's a good camera and it's relatively inexpensive too. It's like I got it for like $60. It's a good camera, and so as long as you have like decent lighting, I know sometimes it totally sucks, but decent lighting, the camera quality is pretty good. It's HD, so it's pretty good. I think it's like the 920, and I'll use, like, if you can complement the video with like decent audio sounding, it will kind of make even if you don't realize it, the quality of the video just feels better if you can hear everything better too. So I use the this microphone, which I'm not using now. This is the Blue Yeti microphone, which sounds pretty good. So when you have nice audio, it also can really make the video feel and look better. I know that sounds weird, but it makes a difference, I think. And so yeah, obviously this isn't the same normal live stream as usual, but had some computer issues, and it's all gonna be back to normal very soon. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. So next question is from Jeremy V 117. What are your favorite figures to take toy photography pictures of? And so, just like I was saying before, my favorite figures are the Black Series, Star Wars Black Series. I love those guys. They're available. You can find them easily. They're affordable, and there's so many of them. They look great. They're articulated. Hasbro does a great job, So next one on Instagram says Monty Vic 03. Which photo is your best work? See, that's a different question. So sometimes, like, what's your favorite photo you've ever done? So my favorite photo that I talked about earlier, I don't know if that's my best photo though. Like, it's my favorite, but I don't know what my best one is. My best photo. I don't know. How would I judge what my best photo is? I don't know. No idea, man. My best photo. There are definitely some ones recently I've been like very proud of. Like, wow, I did a good job with this one. I don't know. I can't even think of my photos now. So this one I don't think really made a huge impact when I posted it, but I did this one for Halloween with Wonder Woman holding Jason Voorhees' head, like she just killed him basically, and I was really proud of that one because the reason why I was proud of it was it wasn't much of my usual style where it's just like cool explosions and not a whole lot of story. Because a lot of my photos are mostly big flashy effects and not a lot of crazy storytelling, and that's something I've really been trying to work on. And so this Wonder Woman photo, there's a story there where, Wonder Woman killed Jason Voorhees. That's weird, it's funny, it makes you laugh, kind of. It wasn't crazy action, and I was really proud of the fact that I was able to make this really, really crispy looking photo where the lighting looked good and the posing was good, and it still looked good without having all the flashy action. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I have to have this flashy action to make my photo look good. I have to have it. But I didn't have all of that, and I felt like it still looked pretty good. And the story was kind of funny, and I was proud of that. So that I don't know if that's my best work, but that's the first one I can think of right now that I was very proud of, and I thought I did a pretty good job with that. And that's on Instagram, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what probably my answer for that, Monty Vic 03. And Roy says, I love that Wonder Woman shot. Jorge says, she's snafu, Jason. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate that. RP Animation says, hi, Jared. I'm sorry for not commenting on Insta anymore. My account got disabled. Oh, geez. Sorry that happened, dude. And don't apologize. Thanks for all the support you've already given me, dude. Commenting and liking. Thanks for all that you do. You don't gotta say sorry. Thanks for being here watching. Fox says, did you submit one for the Work More or Less showdown? Oh, that one. Yes, I did. I did submit that one for the Trick or Treat showdown that him and Nose Rain did. I did, and yeah, they brought it up for a sec on the video, which was obviously it was awesome. I love those guys, so seeing them talk about my work is really great. But yeah, I definitely did. All right, let's see. Next question in the live chat is, let's see. TCW says, will you ever create a figure of yourself? I mean, who doesn't want an action figure of themselves? Yeah, that would be cool. And like a special Sirdork packaging, that would be really cool. I would love to do that, but I don't have that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know. Wouldn't even know really where to start with that. Hey, Venom. Come here, buddy. If anybody can, use a Venom emoji. But Tom, who's in the live chat, he kind of did create a... he's in the live chat right now. He kind of created a figure of me and took a photo of like me taking a photo. It was so cool. Tom, you're gonna have to share that or something sometime. It's his Instagram is NY Rebel Photography. Yeah, he kind of did one. It was really funny. He's wearing the Sirdork shirt and everything in the photo. It was so cool. Snapface says someone needs to create a custom Sirdork head sculpt so he can put it on a stormtrooper. Oh my god, that would be so cool. I wish I knew how to do that. That would be really fun. Put it on the patrol trooper. That would be really cool. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But all right, let's see here. Next question for on Instagram is: Can we actually make money by doing toy photography? And that's from the Mini Malisman. And the answer to that is yes. Is yes. And it doesn't really seem like, how do I make money from being a toy photographer? Believe it or not, you can. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. There's a lot of different ways. You can literally create a business for yourself doing toy photography. That's my goal. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And I've been lucky enough to the point where I have been able to professionally get paid for toy photography, which is incredible. It's super, super fortunate that I've been able to do that. There's a lot of different ways. You can work with companies as like an affiliate. Like with LoomCube, I work as like kind of an affiliate with them, and I get commissions basically based on how many times people use my code or my link when I work with them. So anytime I say use my code or use my link, I'm promoting the product because I believe in it and I think it's awesome, and I really do think that everybody should have them because they're awesome. That's why I use them. But at the same time, I'm like, if you use my code, you'll save 10%, which is awesome, and you can save money. And plus, it helps me out too. So that's why I'm asking. I'm like, yeah, use my code. So every time I say that, that's part of, yeah, LoomCube is awesome. That's why I talk about them. That's why I use them all the time. It'll save you money 10%. I make money, and then they make money too. It's like a super symbiotic thing by using my code. They get the money because they made a sale. You guys get a really awesome product with 10% off, and then I also make a little bit of commission, and I feel good about it. So there's that way to do it. There are times where people will literally want you to take photos because they like your work and they want you to take a photo of their product for them. Like I told you I'm taking some photos for this hot sauce company, which is so cool, and he's gonna pay me. You know, it's so cool. And this I've been working with Disney recently with this crazy awesome project. It's actually it's like the European, more of the European branch of Disney. And so I've been shooting stuff for them for their social media, and they've been paying me for it. It's so cool. There's so many different ways to do it, and it doesn't happen overnight for sure. You gotta work on your craft and be the best toy photographer that you can be, and you gotta promote yourself in the best way you can be. Put yourself all over the place, and it's definitely possible. And I talk about this a lot in my promote your work and gain a following tutorial. I mean, a whole tutorial about that, and about different ways you can, you know, promote yourself and stuff like that. There really are so many ways. And then even as a toy photographer, you can sell your own products on you can sell your prints of your photos and make money that way. People can ask you for commissions for photos. There's so many different ways. You know, you kind of, at the same time, you're a photographer, but you also got to be like kind of like an entrepreneur and find different ways to monetize your craft or whatever it is you're doing. Or you can be a YouTuber where you can do stuff like this, and YouTube will pay you based on how many like views you get. You know, there's so many different ways. So that's my answer to, can you actually make money? Yes, you can. You can actually make money. DVI says, what type of Maggi noodles do you like? I don't even know what Maggi noodles are, but it sounds really good, and I'm kind of hungry, and I like all kinds of noodles. I don't think there's ever been a noodle I didn't like, so yeah. So let's see. Let's see in the live chat. Oh, so Brody Ravel says, what is your favorite lighting color to use for a photo? That's weird. I don't think I have a, to be honest, most often I won't use colors. I will use like a warm tone, and like I use my panel Pro. You can change the color, you can change the cold or the warmth of your photo. And I most of the time will use the warm setting on it, because I just kind of like that look with, especially if I'm doing explosions, because there's a big orange explosion. The warmer light, you know, seems to work better that way. So, yeah, that's probably what I do. But if I'm choosing one color, I'm gonna choose blue. I usually like doing blue, because blue is like my favorite color. So, yeah. So let's see here. Next question is from Mando122608. Will you ever do Lego photography? Yes, actually, I have done some recently. Which again, I'm super lucky. I don't usually typically do Lego, but I've been doing a lot recently with hey buddy, say hi, buddy, to everybody. He looked right at the camera. But yeah, with this project I've been doing with Disney, it's like to bring home the bounty. Like I know you've probably been seeing, it's kind of like the Mando Monday that they did last year, but this is a different thing. They're revealing new products like every week, and that's kind of the project that I'm helping with. And there's been a lot of Lego. There's been a lot of cool Lego stuff, and so actually on Facebook, on the Star Wars Facebook, they use some of the Lego photos I took, which is so cool. So if you go onto my Facebook account, I actually shared them. You'll be able to see them. It's Facebook Sirdork Photography, or Sirdork730. You'll be able to find it. I shared some of the Lego stuff on there. So cool. So much fun. It's crazy. So let's see. Val says, have you seen the new Macfarlane all gray Superman for customizers to paint up? No, I haven't seen that, actually. All gray. I mean, they've been, obviously they come out with all kinds of stuff, but no, I didn't see that it did an all gray Superman. I feel like I would suck at painting him, but I really like that idea. That would be cool. Maybe I'll pick him up. I wonder what's sculpted. Is it like the Henry Cavill Superman from like Justice League, or is it like more, because I know they came out with the Rebirth Superman recently, and They have the Bruce Timm Superman, a bunch of different ones. I would love to see that. That sounds really cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. How did I miss that? So next question in Instagram from Phoenix67. What made you want to start toy photography? Honestly, like, I kind of was just like farting around taking pictures with my phone and seeing what Brody Revell says DC rocks. Yes. Yes, it does. But yeah, I was kind of farting around taking pictures of the figures with my phone for Instagram, not for toy photography, but just because I was like, look at my new figure. But once you kind of learn what toy photography is, you pull up Instagram and you see all the amazing work that people do. That right there, that is what makes me want. Like, I saw the photos and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And so the people that really inspired me right away back then was Everything Kylo. He doesn't really post so much anymore, which is too bad. Really great guy, Jesse. I loved his action explosion shots. I'm sure if you saw his stuff, you'd be like, wow, I definitely can see the inspiration from him, because he, yeah, loved the stuff he did. And Sergeant Bananas was a huge inspiration for me, just like he was for a lot of other people. Yeah, I loved the big action style, but just like seeing the photos and the stuff that people created was just so freaking cool, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And I'm sure it's probably the same way for like everybody else watching here. You see all the awesome stuff people create on here, and yeah, it's just so cool. I'm curious. Share quickly how you kind of started. I want to hear in the live chat. Like TCW Studios says, I found it during lockdown, and I ended up doing pics every day. That's so cool. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how well, like, what got you guys into it? Was it Instagram? Was it like seeing people on there and being like, wow, that's so cool? Or was it something totally different? Or, yeah, I'm really, really curious. But actually, in the meantime, Toys Through Lenses, how's it going, my friend? Says, hey, Jared, it's getting cold out there. Do you have any tips for shooting in the cold besides working on posing the figures at home where it is warm? I should totally do a video on that. And to be honest, I don't really have a lot of great tips besides just bundle the hell up. Bundle up. Like, yeah, pose your figures, get as much ready outside as you can, or inside as you can. And then I use hand warmers a lot. And I usually have fingerless gloves so I can touch things. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, but I think that would be a really good a good video. I would love to do something like that. Bundle up. So Snapface says, I started with macro and I came across these tiny little figures for train sets from where I found toy photography and knew that's what I wanted to take pics of. That's so cool. And Bill Dawson says, toy photography is my way of telling stories because that's my way of being an artist. Me too. I don't feel like I'm not good at any other art. But toy photography is there for me, so that's good. Let's see. Iron Shell says, Instagram. It was Instagram for me, too. I've been doing some in my backyard, and it's been fun, though I need some lighting. Iron Shell, use the sun as best you can, man. It's free, and you get a light reflector. But LumeCube, if you need some if you're looking for actual lights for it, LumeCube is where it's at. And I have LumeCube linked in the bio if you want to check out all the amazing stuff they have. And I got a discount code as well. And actually with LumeCube, if anyone's interested in LumeCube, they are having some big Black Friday deals. So, and my code will be deactivated. If you plan on getting any of their Black Friday deals, my code will be deactivated during the Black Friday deals. So, get some of those Black Friday deals, and if you get something, make sure you use my link. Make sure you use my link, because you can get my link. It's in my bio on Instagram. It's linked in all of my YouTube videos. So, yeah. If you get something, make sure you use my link. That would be awesome. So, Curtis, also, let's see. Val says, I used to just take photos of figures, and then I was like, let's search toy photography on YouTube. And, of course, I found you. Wow, that's so cool, Val. That's how you found out. That's freaking crazy, man. Tanner says, I started toy photography as a means to learn how to shoot manually, and it just snowballed from there. That's really cool. Great way to learn manual, that's for sure. Curtis Reynolds says, my wife finding your photos on Facebook. That's so cool. No, sorry, it says found my photos on a Facebook, posted a memory that has been a year since I started. Whoa, a year! That's so cool. Happy year anniversary, my friend. Brody says lockdown as well. Sirdork is the first and only photographer I watch. What? The only one? That's amazing, and thank you so much for saying that. But there are a lot of other great ones. I'm telling you right now. Oh crap! Bill Dawson sends in a super chat. Thank you so much, dude. He says I haven't ordered a Loom Cube yet, but here's for all the hard work you do. A+, and for the advice you give. Bill, thank you, man. Seriously, you're already a member on the channel. Thank you, dude. I really, really appreciate that. I'm telling you guys, you never have to do this. But thank you guys so much, for real. Jason, how's it going, my friend? Jason Young, Work More or Less himself is here. I talked about you a couple times already. Talking about Digiramas. And I was like, my man Jason started that stuff. And I did recently do a Digirama for like the first time ever. You'd be so proud of me. I'll have to show it to you. For the first time ever. And I was actually pretty happy with how it came out. Not nearly on the level, of course, as your Digirama mastery, but I was pretty proud of those. Let's see. Next question in the live chat is, Jared, have you done any cool customs or modifications for your figures? Actually, I mean, I try my best because it's fun. I love trying to customize stuff. Yes, Jason said he's proud of me. Yes. I can sleep very well tonight. But actually, Iron Shell, the last live stream, we customized a figure. We took one of the Macfarlane Devastator figure and we turned him into Doomsday. And it was so much fun, and I'm usually not the best customizer, although I like to do it. I'm not the best, but I was really proud of how Doomsday came out. It came out pretty good. So check out that live stream. I also got I got a couple different customizing tutorials. I have one about making like the Incinerator Trooper, hydro dipping a Stormtrooper, how to weather a Stormtrooper. Geez, they're all Stormtrooper stuff. I gotta try something new. But yeah, a bunch of different videos on how to customize stuff, and it's so much fun. Even if, like, you know, you're not a pro painter, it's so much fun to just mess around and customize. Just make something your own, you know? Yeah, so much fun. So next question on Instagram is from Emo Boy Scouts Photography. It says, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? So I could totally be jokey about this and have a funny answer, but you know, if you do what makes you happy and you are kind and you give to other people and make them happy, I guess that's good. As long as that's what you do, I think you're all set. Make yourself happy, make others happy. That's it. And don't be a douchebag. Be really nice. But Siva said, Jared, before I go to bed, have you watched Rick and Morty? If so, which character would you want a figure of? Siva, I've watched like only the first couple episodes of Rick and Morty and actually really enjoyed it. A long time ago I watched it when it first started, and then that's it. And I just haven't watched it. That's something I probably should do. And I don't know, I probably would want Rick and Morty, I guess. Probably those guys. But it really is a great show. That is something I definitely should watch a little bit more. I watched a bunch of it on Hulu. Tom says, good night, my friend. Tom, have a great night, my friend. Sleep well. And Val says he's going to send me that gray Superman. Awesome. Awesome. Tanner, I'm glad you like my answer to the meaning of life. TCW's got to go. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Okay, I'm looking for the most recent question in the live chat before I go back onto Instagram. Bub says, homie, I just wanted to say you got me into photography and film, and I just want to say thank you. Bub, thanks, dude. Thank you. That's amazing. Okay, so the next actual question. So, Erlito Bandito says, "Did you end up snagging anything from the Target sale I told you about?" Oh yeah, I haven't even been to Target, to be honest with you. I haven't even checked. Unfortunately, no. And to be honest, anytime I go to Target lately, there's nothing there. Actually, I did get a figure because I went to Walmart recently because I was preparing for my for Saratoga Comic Con that's this weekend, and I needed to get some things. I did get a figure, and there actually was stuff. He's on the wall right here. They actually had the new archive. They had the entire, like, 2 sets of the wave, of the entire wave, and I could have gotten a lot more, but I just got one, and I got the 501st. Had to get the 501st. I already have one. But I just wanted one to look nice on the wall, and it's very rare when I actually find stuff in store. But I found him, and I couldn't pass him up. So I did get him, but I haven't even been to Target recently, my man. But I gotta go. Val says, "Ooh, 501st." Oh, Siva's out of here. Definitely watch it. I definitely will, Siva. Have a good night too, man. And happy shooting, everyone. Siva, thanks for always being here, dude. I know I say it every time, but seriously, you're the man. Next question on Instagram is from Cobra Captures. What's your favorite video game? If you even play them. From Cobra Captures 47. Really great dude. What's my favorite video game? Well, I mean, I play the two video game series I probably play the most are Fallout. I really love Fallout. Big fan of Fallout and Pokemon. I'm gonna just say Pokemon. I'm not gonna say which. The main series Pokemon games are the best, and probably the most influential games in my entire life. It's the one video game series that I have played since I was a tiny little child that I still will buy every single time one comes out and play every single time and have an amazing time doing it and look forward to it and play it all the time. Yeah, it's the Pokemon main series games for sure. Yeah, amazing. And my favorite Pokemon game would be Pokemon Black 2. Pokemon Black 2 or Pokemon White 2. So Black and White I really loved. I thought I was blown away. It was the only time. I'm not gonna get too far into this, but it was the first time they had, like, all right, you know what? This entire game is all new Pokemon, 100% new, nothing old. And I was like, yes, I'm all for it. And I loved that game so much. I loved the story with Team Plasma. I thought that was really interesting. And then this is the only time where this was a sequel. The next game was Pokemon Black 2. It was a sequel to the next game. So you're playing as a different character, but all this stuff happening was a sequel to the last one. I really loved it. Really loved it. But I'm not going to get too far into that because this is a toy photography stream, not a Pokemon game stream. Brody says Pokemon Snap. Yes, and the new one is so fantastic. Anil Sharma says, "Greeting from India, everyone. This is Toy Pixel Dude. Hey, Toy Pixel Dude, how's it going? Lockdown Plus turned my collection into meaningful art and story snaps, practical effects, inspiration from artists, especially you. Got me started." Dude, Anil, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, Toy Pixel Dude. That really means a lot. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thanks for all the support. That's so cool, dude. Thank you so much. And Erlito says, "Let's Go Pikachu was surprisingly really good. Easily one of the best to come out recently. Soul Silver, Heart Gold will forever be my most... Oh, so Heart Gold and Soul Silver, those were fantastic games. And it's funny because Let's Go Pikachu is probably my least favorite game that's come out in a really long time. If I'm being honest, that's really funny. It's probably my least favorite. I just didn't. I liked it, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I appreciated it for what it was. But I just didn't. I didn't love the marriage of the Pokemon Go mechanics and the normal. I didn't love that so much, but I thought it was genius on Pokemon's end to get all the Pokemon Go players to buy a Switch and play a Pokemon game. Absolutely brilliant, business-wise, I suppose. Okay, so let's see. Next question on Instagram is, what's some good advice to start up a toy photography page?
That's a great question. It says Peely Nanner. Peely Nanner 501st. To start up a toy photography page. Well, honestly, just create an Instagram. Think of a really unique name, a really fun and unique, catchy name. I don't want to say like Sirdork. Sirdork I thought of when I was in 7th grade when I made my AOL Instant Messenger account. So, think of a really cool, catchy name that is memorable and unique, you know? And like Peely Nanner, like that, Peely Nanner. That's what you should do. Just stick with Peely Nanner. And then just start taking pictures of toys, having a good time. And to really like get your page out there, there's all kinds, just, you know, engage with the toy photography community and talk with others, comment and follow other toy photographers. I would definitely recommend watching, and I know I always say check out my video, but I make these videos so then like I can answer these questions in a much better, thorough, comprehensive way and help you guys out. And because I love doing it. But the video I made about exposing your work and gaining a following, I have a tutorial that's called that. And sorry, I'm losing. That all the information really I have about like having a toy photography page and growing it and making it the best it can be. I would recommend watching that video. That's probably where the most of my information for that answer would be in there. And so we got another one from Ronan. Ronan Photography says, "Hey man, me and my best friend are making a figurine and we want to know, is there any painting tips you want to share?" I'm not the right guy. I mean, I know I'll paint and make custom stuff on videos and stuff, but I'm so like amateur at best. I mean, at best. But just kind of go for it. Go for it and be ready to kind of scrape things away and then spray it with a clear coat afterwards. Definitely spray it with some kind of clear coat afterwards. But Jason says in the live chat, says, get into toy photography because you are genuinely interested and have fun. Yes. Like Jared said, the community is great and generally willing to share. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And that is always going to be the most important thing, is when you're trying to start, if you're trying to start a toy photography page, do it because you love it. And then just have some fun. Do it because you love it. And just always make sure to remember and not to get lost in everything else. And remember that you're doing this because you love it, right? Not for other things with followers and stuff like that. You're doing it because you love it. So just don't forget about that. Because it is really easy to get caught up in that. And I've definitely been guilty of it, where I post a picture, it doesn't get as many likes as I thought, and then I feel bad about myself. Or something like it's happened to me plenty of times. It's happened to, I'm sure, to everybody. So it's really easy to get caught up in that. But yeah, always remember that the most important thing is because you're doing it because you love it, and it's fun. And it's fun because it is. It's like the funnest thing ever. So yes, Jason, you're absolutely right, dude. So Jervis says, do you have a Ninja Turtle figure? It's really funny because growing up, my brothers and I had a ton of Ninja Turtles. We that was a huge part of our childhood, watching the movies. We had them all. I mean, maybe not, but everybody says we had them. We had all of those. We had a bunch of them. And those figures and Ninja Turtles in general were just a really big part of our childhood. But that's the one thing for me that, like, nowadays, I don't really care. I'm not too huge on the Ninja Turtle stuff. I don't really have much of an interest in collecting those. I don't know why. It's weird. I would think that I would have this huge connection with those, but I see this stuff coming out and I'm like, oh, that looks great, but I don't really want it. I don't know. It's really, really weird. I don't understand. But to be honest, right now, I don't own any Ninja Turtles. I don't even have one. I think they look great, but yeah. And Jason says, yes, we all get caught up in likes and engagement. focusing on that will always burn you out. I'm here for the people and for the inspiration. Heck yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so easy. I'm sure we've all gotten caught up with it. Absolutely. And it's too many turtles. Yeah. I know that's like one of your main things, but it's not too many. It's never too many. It's never too many. All right. So next question on Instagram is from Brother for Another Brother. That's pretty cool. Brother for Another Brother. What is your favorite color? My favorite color. I don't know, blue. I like blue a lot. I usually like blue stuff. I'll either wear black clothing or wear blue or have stuff that's blue. That's my favorite color. Yeah, great question, Brother for Another Brother. Also, great name. Really great name. Actually, that's the last question on Instagram. That was a lot. I'm really happy that I was able to get through all of those. Sweet. Thank you guys all for sending me the questions on Instagram. I think I'm going to do this kind of thing more often. I'm really, really enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. And I hope you guys are too. If you are, great. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm not leaving quite yet. But now I'm just going to go through questions in the live chat. Throw them at me. Throw them at me if you have any. Bub says, what's your taste in music? I mean, I love just about anything. But my favorite kind of music I listen to is like hardcore metal. I'm a big metal guy. Siva, who's in the live chat every single week, one of my good friends. Him and I were in a metal band for many years together. He plays guitar, and he's freaking amazing. He's incredibly freaking talented. And I was the screamer. I screamed, and it was awesome. What a just great, like, when I think about those experiences, we played shows and stuff. It was so much fun. We were awesome. We never really got anywhere. We were approaching infinity. That was the name of our band. And if you ever watch any YouTube video of mine and you see the theme song, the yeah, that's an approaching infinity song. So yeah, I'm a big metal guy. So yeah. Roy Gwinta sends a super chat, dude. Thank you so much. You are awesome. He says, add it to the firework fund. Thank you, man. That's just super generous. Thank you so much. And yes, hell yes, it goes to the firework fund. I'm starting to get low on fireworks. I gotta get some more pretty soon. Some of the sparklers I'm out of, and I'm starting to get low. So pretty soon I gotta take a 4-hour road trip down to the Pennsylvania-New York border and drop a bunch of cash on a bunch of fireworks. So much fun. I love to. That's just a joyous time, just buying a bunch of fireworks. Val says, Snapface says, thank you, Sirdork, for bringing the community together. Honestly, you guys thank me for doing this stuff. Like, I should be thanking you. You guys are the ones here to help, like, being here with me and watching my videos and stuff like that. You know, like, it's an honor for me to be able to have something that you guys enjoy enough to come together, and it's the coolest thing ever, and I'm super grateful for every single one of you guys. Val says, tomorrow is the Rancor full painted images from HasLab. Didn't they already show it? Or maybe they showed it like a photo, but like it was not super clear, you know, the lighting was dark and dim, you could kind of see some of it, and it's really like weird, like suggestive angle of the photo they revealed, and like the silhouette of like the tail on the Rancor is very, I'm surprised they went with that photo. If you see it, just look at his tail and then be like, oh. It's just like your eye just goes right to it. Even if you're not immature like me, you're gonna see it and you're gonna think of it. Let's see. Bill says, do you clone stamp out joints and things? I can't stop myself. No, I never do. I've never considered taking out the joints, and I don't think it's like bad or it's not a good idea to take out joints because a lot of people do it and it looks really cool actually. But I kind of like leaving them in because I don't want to try to hide the fact that it's a toy. And I'm not saying that anyone who does it is trying to hide the fact that it's a toy, because trust me, when I see people do it, I think it looks really cool because it totally can change a photo. You know, it can totally say, okay, this isn't a toy photo. This is a photo of a thing. You know, but I like leaving them in because I like the fact that it's like it's still a toy. You know, it's still an action figure and joints and all. And I just kind of like that that idea. You know, I just think that's really cool. So, no, I never do that. One of these days, I should try it out though. Let's just see what it looks like, if I can even do it. That is. So, if you had the choice to live in Star Wars or Pokemon, what would you choose? This might not be a popular answer among it because I know a lot of us here are big Star Wars fans, but I would probably choose the Pokemon world. Like, living in the Star Wars world sounds dangerous. You know, like, if you're living under the Empire, life sounds like it might be pretty tough. The Empire sucks. You know, like, they're not fair. They're totalitarianistic. I don't know if that's the word. I don't know. It's just like, sounds like it kind of sucks. There's a lot of big, like, violent wars and stuff going on. I mean, it's cool to watch, but like maybe not so much to live in. But if you live in the Pokemon world, you can literally make a living by just walking around to different towns, catching and battling Pokemon, and just like with these just cool animals that can like be your friend, that are like intelligent and can breathe fire. And it's all a very happy world. I want to live in the Pokemon world. That's a great question though. Great question. Let's see. Commander Ninja says, "Hey, what did I miss? Hey, Commander Ninja. This is it. I've just been sitting here talking and answering questions. That's it. That question." And Roy says, "Long live the Empire." Yeah, as much as I love the Empire, like, and I love stormtroopers and stuff like that, it just doesn't sound like a nice place to live and to deal with the Empire. You know, doesn't really sound like it would be very nice. Bill says, Pokemon world is a hell of a lot safer. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It sure is. And then let's see. Iron Shell just threw a question in. Are you big on comics, or do you just like DC and Marvel figs? I'm definitely a big I've probably fallen behind quite a bit in the last couple years with comics, but I'm a big DC reader. I mean, Superman is my everything. I love reading just anything in any individual Superman series. I just like I read and I watch Superman doing what he's doing, and it just makes me want to be a better person all the time. Better person at, like, not just like saving people or whatever, you know, just like being a better person. Like, he, you know, you see him being a good husband and a good dad, you know, and just like treating people fairly and being selfless and just giving to others and just being a great person. And I mean, that's like, you know, he is everything I want to be. So that's like, that's why I love Superman so much. Plus he kicks ass. And so yeah, I love reading Superman. I love reading, and I fall pretty far behind, but usually when there's some really big, interesting DC event going on, I'll catch up and I'll read that, just because you can't, you know, you can't not. And probably the most recent big event thing I read was Death Metal, because I really like Dark Knight's Metal. Death Metal was great too. But yeah, big DC guy. Don't really read much of Marvel stuff. Sorry. I love Marvel, but I love DC more. I just do. Just do. So let's see. Bub says, Jared, I gotta go. It was great watching. Thank you so much for being around for so long, Bub. You are awesome. Thanks, Bub. I feel like Wolverine right now talking to you. Roy's talking about Star Wars, living in Star Wars. Says, just set up a nice moisture farm on Tatooine and live a nice quiet life. You know what? I don't know. Moisture farm on Tatooine? That sounds like a hard, hot life, dry, sand and dry and coarse and gets everywhere. But yeah, you know what? Being a moisture farmer doesn't sound too bad. Superman, literally Superman is here in the live chat and he said thanks. Is it really like, it's an honor. Wow. Jeez. You're the best. You're the best. Thanks for watching, Superman. Wow. Tanner. Hey, Tanner says, random question. Do you collect Pokemon cards? If yes, what's your rarest card? Actually, I guess the answer would be yes. Before toy photography was my like main thing. Pokemon cards was everything to me. I competed and I played competitively in tournaments, and I went to a league every single Thursday, which was just a blast. And I had probably, and I hate being a braggy kind of guy, but I didn't meet anybody except for one person that had nearly as good of a collection as I did. And I met a lot of people playing Pokemon. But yeah, I traded Pokemon online through Instagram. You know, sending cards through the mail was awesome. The Pokemon cards were huge. Went to Pokemon Worlds. My playmat down here is that from Pokemon Worlds in 2015. I didn't compete, but I volunteered and I got to judge tournaments, which was so cool. But I kind of chose collecting toys over Pokemon cards in the long run. And then more recently, when Pokemon cards have blown up again, like really blown up and are just huge, like never before, almost bigger ever now than they were back then, I actually started to sell my collection. And Harleen and I we wanted to get a house, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sell my cards. And I started selling them one by one on Mercari, and I have made a lot of money from selling my cards, and I don't regret it at all. And I have not sold them all yet. I still have a lot. And so the house we're living in now has been very heavily funded by my Pokemon card collection. So thank you, Pokemon cards. Thank you. And I sent a bunch of cards to PSA to get graded, all my most valuable ones, and those aren't even back yet, and I haven't even sold those yet. So thank you, Pokemon cards. Thank you, Pokemon cards, for helping my house get bought. Val's throwing out more Anakin references. Commander Ninja says, yes, Death Metal was good. The Batman Who Laughs is an awesome character. He really is a great character, and not super in-depth of as far as like character stuff goes, but a really awesome villain. Super awesome villain. And Death Metal, like a lot of other Scott Snyder stuff, who's the writer, it kind of just gets just like all over the place, and you're just like almost to the point where like I'm just going with it. And Death Metal kind of did that. It was just like, what the hell is even happening now? And that's not with all Zack, or not Zack, Scott Snyder. A lot of his stuff, especially big stuff like Death Metal and Dark Knight's Metal, kind of just go all over the place, go nuts. Like him and Grant Morrison need to do something together, just creating this crazy crap. Anyway, Bill said that worked out great for Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. It did for a while, until they were killed by the Empire. So, my point, keep helping my argument. Commander Ninja says, "Do you have any rare comics?" I don't think I have. I have some that I'm really excited about. A few covers that are not super rare. I don't have anything that crazy. When I collected comics, I don't really collect anymore because I chose figures, and I just kind of read stuff online now. But I just would collect covers that I thought were really cool, and a lot of Superman stuff. And I have some really cool Hush covers and just covers of artists that I really like. I have some rare Action Comics 1000 stuff. I mean, it was kind of like special edition because it was Superman's 80th anniversary. I have some cool stuff from that. But the person who's got some rare, valuable comics is sitting right over there. And actually a lot of them are framed on the wall. Like Harley Quinn's first ever appearance is over there, and a bunch of other really valuable Harley Quinn stuff framed up on the wall. So she's the one with the valuable comics. Not me. Iron Shell says, "Do you like indie comics like Dark Horse, Image, etc.?" To be honest, I haven't really read a whole lot. I have a little bit of Image stuff. Also, again, Harleen is a big Image fan, big Saga fan, and some other random ones that she reads, like this one. I don't even remember, but yeah, she's a big Image fan. And the only like Dark Horse stuff I've really read are Star Wars, Star Wars stuff, really. So, yeah. And we're on a big comic. Snapface says comic books aren't cheap these days. I mean, it depends. Like if you if you're like really into reading and you go to the shop every Wednesday, that adds up. That definitely adds up. But if you want to read like trade paperbacks, that's pretty affordable. Amazon is really great. You can get some really trade paperbacks of stuff that you love, really decently priced. And if you want to subscribe to like the DC Universe app or Marvel Unlimited, basically get everything for a certain subscription every month. So actually reading comics nowadays is actually pretty nice, to be honest. There's a lot of really great avenues for stuff. All right, you guys. Thank you again so much for everyone being here. This was so much fun. You guys threw in a lot of really, really fun, awesome questions. And I'm really grateful for you guys for being here watching, even though I screwed everything up. I had this long ways live stream today. Next week, we'll be back to normal. And it'll be great. It'll be awesome. Back to normal live stream. So, yeah, thank you guys again. And I'm going to call it here. Have a great rest of the night. Jason, have a great night. Thanks again for being here. Mandible Smasher, have a great rest of the night, you guys. I will see you in the next video. And if anyone lives in New York and around that area, maybe I'll see you at Saratoga Comic-Con this weekend. That would be awesome. That'd be cool. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night. See ya.